Good morning, beloved. So today is December 16th, and December 15th, and I am a day early, so I'm going to post this tomorrow. But I had to get it out because it's on my mind, and I feel like when something is on your mind and you have it in your heart to do it, to do it. So today I'm going to discuss looking back. And when we talk about looking back, we always think of relationships. Looking back is not necessarily always have to be relationship wise. We look back to, we look back on careers. We look back and wonder why or I should have done something when if we didn't do it, it wasn't for us to do. And so understanding that is the first and foremost that's important um, in looking back. So again, going back to women of the Bible, Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt for looking back. Now, thank God, the universe, Yahweh, and whoever else that we don't have that experience, but we do suffer some consequences for looking back. The first thing I say to myself now is, why did I leave? Why did I leave that job? Why did I not get that car? Why did I leave that relationship? Why did I leave that friendship? Why did I leave? So there's always a why. And when you think that way first, think of that why, then we don't look back. Also, because we are focused on self-love and growth, not looking back is definitely, absolutely a benefit to self-growth. Because when we look back, we have some kind of self-doubt. Can I make it without? Am I going to miss? In what we're really looking at when we look back is because we're stuck in a place of fear. We're comfortable with where we are. But what we need to be looking at is where we're going. So instead of being comfortable and stuck with where you are, think of the possibilities of where you're going. Because when you're stuck in that place, you're not really stuck there because it's a great thing all the time. And if it's time for you to move forward, then you need to move forward. More often than not, we stay in those positions because we think of what the possibility of what it could be. And if it's not that, and you've given it the adequate time to be what you think it should be to match your comfort level, then it's time to move forward. There's no need to look back. There's no need to stay. You've reached your breaking point, your end point, and it's time to move forward. No matter what that situation is, like I said, whether it's a job, a friendship, a relationship, a family, a car, it can be material things. Some people will stay in a car because they don't want a new car note, or go get a new car because they're looking back to their past of the life they used to have. You're looking at, oh, when I was in this relationship or when I was making this money, I was able to do this. And then you get in a situation that you shouldn't be in because you looked back. Stop looking back. Look forward. Forward thinking always will land you in a better position, because when you're forward thinking, you're making plans. And I always say write, because when you write it, you vision it, you see it, you do it. So we're going to stop looking back and we're going to be forward thinkers because we want to move forward in life and we want to grow. Now, another thing about looking back, just on life in general, I'm not saying don't reflect. That's not what I'm saying at all, because sometimes reflecting on where we've been will motivate us to get where we need to be. So I'm not saying don't reflect. What I'm saying is don't look back. If you left it there, you left it there for a reason. It's not to pick up and take that baggage with you. We have enough baggage for a lifetime. We have enough baggage for a lifetime. I always say things that were spoken into your life or spoken over you that from other people, the negative that they poured into you we can reverse that out of our lives because we can start to speak life into ourselves, speak where we want to be, speak where we see us at. Um, because your past is not your present and it's definitely not your future. It has built you up to make you strong for where you want to go and where you intend to be in who the universe created you to be. That's what it is. But it's definitely not who you are, and it's not who people say you are. It's who you say you are. So you present yourself to the world and you teach people how to treat you. All the time, no matter where you go, you teach people how to treat you. I am in a conversation, if I'm in a conversation with somebody who's really aggressive and like to hear themselves talk, I will get quiet because I don't communicate that way. And so once I get quiet and I tone down, that person matches me. And if they continue to speak to me that way, I exit the conversation. There's no need to have a conversation with somebody who can't respect who you are. So that's also another part of making people treat you the way that you are. Teach people how you want to be treated. There's several different forms of life where we teach people how we want to be treated, and once we are consistent in our behavior, they will become consistent in their behavior on how they treat you. I don't allow phone calls or texts at certain times at night. I don't do loud voices. Um, I don't communicate with people who want to only talk and not listen, because listening is not just with your ears. You listen in a lot of different ways. I listen to body language. I listen to tones of voice. I listen to words that's used. I listen to facial expressions. So we listen to everything. And that teaches us how to communicate with the person that we're communicating with. I won't communicate with everybody the same way because everybody doesn't communicate the same way, but I will listen to everybody the same way. The words that they say to me is one thing, but their actions and their emotions, all of that play into it. And so I will listen to everybody the same way, but I won't communicate back to everybody the same way because I communicate to people the way they communicate to me, only in a tone that I use. I'm not going to yell with you. I'm not going to get excited because there's no need for all of that. If you have a real conversation, you can have a conversation without that. So again, it goes to looking back and growing up in the time that we grew up in. And I'm not going to say necessarily the time, but where I grew up, how I grew up. The people, I'm not going to say everybody around me, but it was aggressive. So the city I was in, you fought. Everybody, if you had a problem, if there was a beef, bring it. We're gonna fight. And so I adapted that. And as I grew up, people thought that of me. And I don't like to fight. I don't even like to yell. But that's what people thought of me because that's what I adapted to from my surroundings. And so as I grew forward and moved forward in life, I realized that's not me and it's not who I am. And I never looked back. I never look back. And it's okay to be who you are and don't let others assume or put something on you that's not you. It's okay now we have our children who want to be like their friends or fall into a group and that's who they portray to be, and then they get home and there's somebody else, but by that time it's too late and they're in trouble and they don't know how to get out of it because every time you turn around they're back in front of this group of friends and they want to pretend that this is who they are and they keep looking back instead of going forward. And we have to teach them how to move forward and that it's okay to move forward because we have to live an example of moving forward. There's certain things in your home, in my life personally, that I won't allow because I have to move forward and I have to show my children that I've grown forward from that. So a lot of times we look back and we hear the words that people spoke over us and we carry it and we start to feel some kind of way. And I'm guilty of it myself. I'm human. So I'm guilty of it myself. And a couple of I think it was maybe last night, even or night before last. Um, I was in a funky space. I was in a funky space and I didn't do my norms. I didn't go to writing. I didn't go to reading. I didn't go do a puzzle. I just sat there and let that funky space kind of consume me. And before I knew it, I had those thoughts in my head of, I can't make it. I'm not going to succeed. I don't know why I'm doing this. Being transparent in public is difficult, and those words started to creep into my head. And once they creep into my head, and then they start to penetrate your soul and your thoughts, and then you start to feel it. And then I'm just sitting there. I'm not doing any of my norms to bring me out. And so I went on Facebook, and there was confirmation, and that's what brought me out. And sometimes that's what you need. And sometimes Facebook is a great place to be. And sometimes somebody that doesn't know you will speak life into you and lift you up and keep you from looking back. Sometimes that's what it takes. But just the word of confirmation, thank you for doing this. I appreciate what you're doing. Those little simple things will let people know that you're doing what you've been called to do. And for me, in that moment, that simple thing that somebody didn't know I needed at that moment pushed me to say, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. What that also is called is the universe giving you a sound voice when you need it in your dark moment, when you're sitting in there and you're soaking and you're taking that in, what's not given to you. The universe will send that. And that's exactly what happened. The universe sent it. And I went on Facebook and I saw it. And it lifted me back up to say, you know what, Keish? You are doing what you're supposed to be doing. You know that this is your passion, your desire, is to help other women, to build them up, to grow. I have so much information and material that I give other people. And this is the homework that we're going to do to get you out of this space. Yet and still, because I'm human, in that moment, I didn't think of my own homework. I didn't think of it. But this morning, back in front of my mirror, I am a woman of God. I am free. I am retired. All the things that I speak to myself, read, write, pray, consistency, increase, discernment, the things that I ask the universe for, and you just continue to go. It's another day. You move forward with it, and you have nobody to thank or be mad at but the universe. You're not mad at the universe because there's nothing to be mad at, but you're thankful because in that moment you realize, this was for me. This was for me. Everything is not going to be for everybody all the time. But when you hear it and something resonates with you, know that this was for me. And take it and run with it. However it benefits you. If it don't, keep it pushing and wake up into the next day and get something from the next day. But I will promise to always be uplifting, encouraging, and motivating, because bringing other women down is not a good thing. I will not post a video, go live, or anything like that in a funky mood. I won't do that to people, because that's going to in turn reflect on you, and I'm going to enjoy your energy, and you're going to be in a funky mood with me, and we're going to sit down and have a pity party and look back on something that we can't change. So what's the point of looking back? I'm not sure. I don't understand. I want to know if somebody can tell me what's the point of looking back. One person, inbox me. Keisha Speaks on Facebook. Kisha Speaks. Inbox me and tell me what it is that you get from looking back, because I don't get anything from looking back except for to see reflecting. Yes, I've grown, but looking back with wondering what was the potential of something, no, not an option. I don't want to know what the potential of something was that didn't happen, because it's time to move forward. Looking for that potential will hold you in that spot, and you will stay there trying to get the potential out of a situation that's not happening for you. So don't sit in a spot waiting for potential to happen, because you keep looking back instead of moving forward, writing down your plan, your vision, and going with it. Run with it. Stick it out. But do not sit in something that says, this potentially could be a great relationship if this person did. This potentially could be a great job for me if they did. Because 9 times out of 10, if that person, if this job was going to make those changes, they would have been done before you got to feeling this way. Because when somebody cares enough about you, or your job values you enough to make those decisions and those changes, then they will. And it's not potentially, it's done. It's done. So stop looking back. We're not going to waste time looking back. We're going to move forward. And I know I said I was going to post this video tomorrow, but I'm going to post it today because right now I feel like that's what needs to be done. And my dog, who loves me, is really trying to get in my lap and think that she's a lap dog, and she's not. She's probably 70 pounds. So that's not going to happen. But back to looking back. There's so much that we hinder ourselves with by looking back. You know, we stop our own self-growth when we doubt the things that we have in front of us and the opportunities that we have in front of us to move forward. We stunt where we could be in life because we're looking back. We stunt our growth in life because we're looking back. We have had so many opportunities, one way or another. And even though at that moment you might not see it as an opportunity, but every single day that you wake up, you have an opportunity. The first opportunity you have is to wake up. That's the first opportunity. The second opportunity is to make your mind. Either you're going to set your mind that day when you get out of bed, you set your mind. Is this going to be a good day? Or is this going to be a bad day? It's already set. As soon as you wake up, however you feel and whatever you feed into that morning, that's what your day is going to be like. Now, you also have the opportunity throughout the day to change that. It doesn't have to stay that way. Everything we do is up to us, and everything there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity to learn from something. There's an opportunity to grow. There's an opportunity to make a change. But it's always up to us. No one can take your opportunity from you but you. No one can make you feel a way about a situation but you. So what I try to do in every situation, and I did say try, because I'm still human. What I try to do in every situation is look for the positive in it, and what was the opportunity for me in that situation. What was the opportunity? There's always an opportunity for growth. I am a leader, and I had recently made some poor choices out of emotion, and the opportunity from that was to reflect, and then I wrote it down. Next time a situation like this comes up, I need to do this. Next time a situation like this comes up, I need to take a step back and breathe. Everything doesn't deserve a reaction. Everything doesn't deserve a reaction. So in this situation, that day, not a week later, not even the next day, I looked back that night and I said, this is what I need to do. I put it down and it's done. There's nothing else for me to do with that situation. It's done. I will not look back at it. The things that I heard in that situation, words that were spoken, it's done. But I took what I could from it. I carried it with me. I left the rest because everything wasn't for me. Because when you know yourself, what somebody else says to you about you or try to put on you, you don't take it in because you know, that's not me. You don't know me well enough, so what you're saying is what you assume. And that's fine. But I know me. And so I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to look back at that anymore. And this was just a couple weeks ago. But we don't have to look back, is what I'm saying. We don't have to look back on anything. We take what we take what's for us. We take the meat and leave the bone. We take the meat and leave the bone. And that's in every situation that we come with. So I'm going to say it one last time. Don't look back. Don't look back. Self-love. is about not carrying what somebody else is trying to put on you and not looking back into potential, because we love ourselves enough to know the worth, the value that we carry in ourselves. As women, that's what we do know. So there's no need to look back on any situation at all. There's only time to learn from it and grow and move forward. That's it. So I'm going to leave that there for today. It was just something really quick that was on my spirit to get it out, and so I got it out. I am going to share it, and I want you all to know that you do not have to look back. Look forward. Get rid of the baggage. Assignment for this week. So you're going to have 2 assignments this week. And my book is my book handy? Because I need to write these assignments down. Because I am, when I give assignments, I do them also. Because I can always grow. I can always grow. Like I said, situations always come up. So, 2 assignments this week. Like, dislike, passion. And now is baggage. So a way to get rid of baggage, and everybody may not be able to do this, but if you can, I want you to do this. Even if you have to write it, what I do is I gather rocks every time, because they're heavy. And if you can carry this bag around with you, you have to carry your baggage. So your baggage is heavy, it weighs on you. Like I said, stress builds up, stress kills. So we don't want to look back, but we want to get rocks. I get rocks, maybe small bricks, and with the Sharpie, I write on those the baggage that I need to release. Sometimes it's quarterly, sometimes it's every 6 months, maybe it might be once a year. Depends on the year that I'm having. But I write things that I want to release, and then I have to carry that for 5 days. You carry it for 5 days, and then you throw it and you release it. And when you release your baggage, you should release that stress. It's just that simple. Because what we write, we see, we feel, it's there. So assignments this week: like, love, passions. Figure out what your like, love, like, dislike. Keep saying love. Likes, dislikes, and passion. Figure out what your likes, dislikes, and passions are. And now the baggage. So you can do it by carrying the rocks with your words on them, or you can do it with paper and your words on them, and then find a good safe place to burn it. So that's what the 2 assignments are for this week. Like, dislikes, and passions. Figure out yourself. This is about self-love and getting rid of baggage, and we're not going to look back at it. And so, like I said, it was on my heart to get it out. I was not supposed to do this today. This was supposed to be a video for tomorrow, but here we are. So I will probably not post a video tomorrow. This is Letitia Cunningham, motivational speaker, uplifting, encouraging, and motivation life coach. Thanks, and have a great day.